describing the timeline for the day. The beginning part of this afternoon is focused on our dear founders, our most senior alumni. Thank you for coming. And also, Chris Hillman and his wife Connie will be here. They're going to do a meet and greet during the reception. At 3:15, we will start the Hall of Fame induction.
Always. So I would encourage you, if you can, we have our amazing current students, ISP students, that are going to be offering tours, as was mentioned. So we'd love for you to walk through, connect with current students, share your stories, which everyone is always fond of. And
is we want to have Councilman Tony Kranz come up from the city of Encinitas, along with Chris. Okay.
Very good. Thank you. Thanks, Chris. It's great to see everybody. I love coming back to San Dieguito High School, as I'm sure you all do as well. See all the change, and in spite of all the change, there's some things that just remain the same, and that vibe of this place is still here quite strong for me. But for today, we're here to celebrate Chris and his contributions not only to San Dieguito as an alumni of San Dieguito, but his great music. And I have the opportunity to present to him a proclamation that was written by Ken Harrison on behalf of the City Council and Encinitas Mayor Catherine Blakespeare, who is traveling and could not be here herself. So you get a council member here. So. All right, very good. So because it has some great information in it, I'm going to read you the whole thing. So if you'll bear with a few whereases, I would appreciate it. So, whereas on Thursday, October 24th, 2019, at a special ceremony on campus with fellow classmates, teachers, students, fans, and alumni, Chris Hillman will be honored as the 2019 inductee into the San Dieguito High School Hall of Fame. And whereas at the age of 15, Chris Hillman was touched by the folk and bluegrass music genre of the era, and he started playing the mandolin. And whereas he was a graduate from San Diego High School in the class of 1962. Whereas he joined his first band after high school, San Diego-based the Scottsville Squirrel Barkers. Whereas a year later he joined the Golden State Boys and appeared weekly on a Los Angeles TV program, Cal's Corral, as well as performing in country western clubs throughout Southern California. Whereas he became a founding member of legendary bands, the Byrds, Flying Burrito Brothers, Manassas, and the Desert Rose Band, to name a few. Whereas in 1991, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a founding member of the Byrds. Whereas he has been labeled by his peers and fans alike as not only a rock star, but one of the architects of American music. Whereas he has blessed the world with his music in concert performances and with his latest album, Biding My Time, produced by Tom Petty. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the City of Encinitas honors Chris Hillman for his creativity, his love and performance of music, the sharing of his talents with the world. On behalf of Councilman Tony Kranz, class of 1977, and the entire City Council, I, Mayor Catherine Blakespeare, do hereby proclaim October 24, 2019 as Chris Hillman Day in the City of Encinitas.
Started into talking about Chris, I just want to let everybody know that Chris has brought a little gift for everybody, and on your way out you can pick it up. He's brought CDs for everybody. So you can pick those up on your way out. Didn't want to forget to tell you that. They want to know how much money you're charging. Your gifts. Okay. First of all, we want to thank Chris and his wife Connie for being able to attend today. It's been a pleasure to get to know them and to see Chris perform recently in Carlsbad. Chris grew up in Rancho Santa Fe and Del Mar when it was still considered the country. He rode horses, surfed, and lived the life that many of us will remember. And he loved music. Depending on which story you read, he was either 10 or 14 when he begged his mother for a guitar. She got him one, a $10 special from Tijuana, given to him with the promise that he'd stick to it. Apparently he did. More instruments followed, a guitar, a mandolin, but it was clear when it was when his sister came home from college with a bunch of records that included artists like Bob Seger, Woody Guthrie, and Lead Belly, that a whole new world would open up for the teenage Chris. One that led him into bluegrass, country, folk music, rock and roll, the blues, and even pop, to mention a few. That $10 guitar was the beginning of a 60-year career. Chris formed and played in bands like Squirrel Barkers, the Hillman, the Byrds, the Flying Burrito Brothers, Manassas, the Desert Rose Band, and again, that is just to mention a few. He has worked with many influential musicians, including David Crosby, Stephen Stills, Graham Parson, Roger McGuinn, Gene Clark, Michael Clark, Richie Furay, Tom Petty, and so many, many more, but we cannot list all those. We don't have that much time today. Thanks to his consistently innovative contributions to American music, he has earned the title a musical pioneer, the genre buster, the godfather of country rock, and an architect of American folk rock, etc. And yet when you speak with him, you realize how humble he is and perhaps even a bit shy. When asked about him, Tom Petty is quoted as saying, "I don't know if Chris ever liked fame, he was just a good musician." Those of us who attended Chris's concerts agree, he is not just a good musician, he is a great musician, singer, and songwriter. We have thoroughly enjoyed not only his music, but also the narration with each song that Chris performs. It enables us to see what drives Chris to write his songs and the personal meanings they have for him. Before we let him share his stories with you, we want to give him a long overdue honor. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inducted Chris into their Hall of Fame in 1991, and now it's San Dieguito's turn. Fellow Mustangs and guests, I have the honor and privilege to present to you San Dieguito's 2019 Hall of Fame inductee, Chris Hillman, class of 1962.
There we are. I really should thank all of you on the alumni committee, and I'm glad to let Sue, Bonnie, Leslie, Nanette, Ken, Mary, Cindy, Dan, Lydell, Tom, Lisa, Carter, and Jay. Adam, principal, thank you. And my history teacher from junior high, Mr. Williams. God bless you. I am a very blessed man. I'm very honored. Thank you so much. I got to do something that I loved. I never thought I'd make a living at it. I thought every year I would go register first semester of school. I wanted to be an English major or history major. And something would always happen, a door would always open, and onward I went until here I am, almost 60 years later. But I really was very blessed to do something I wanted to do. And Tom Petty did say, he says, I don't think Chris ever liked show business. I really didn't. I liked to play the music. I didn't care about the celebrity part of it. And I got a darn good education here, okay, at San Dieguito High School. And I was telling some of my classmates and other people, I said, I didn't do so well in algebra, but they didn't push me through the system. I took the class the next year over. I had to. I got a good education. I got a good education from the time I started school in the first grade in 1950 until I graduated. I got a great education in the state of California. And that's not to stir up any trouble with anything going on in the education world now. It was a great school. I remember certain things walking around. Leslie took us for a walk, and I love your music department, how nice for kids to be able to major in that, to get credit for that. And it's fantastic. I just love coming back down here and seeing this, and I'm truly, truly honored to be here in front of you all. My brother was honor student, trigonometry, calculus, Mustang quarterback, basketball player, letters, gets accepted to the Air Force Academy. So naturally, I called and said, hey, you know what? Guess what? San Dieguito's going to honor me. He went, oh, really? He said, you really should be getting this. He said, well, I guess they like you better. I was one of those sibling things. My brother's only 80 years old, but we're still going at it. God bless all of you. Thank you for doing this for me. I can't tell you what it means. It's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody that attended. I'm sure you all agree it was a very special time for Chris as well as all of us. Thank you, and don't forget to get your CD when you're ready to wrap up and head out the door. Thank you.